Welcome everyone to our State of the Republic Town Hall, the SAC versus LA2 edition. We will be started here shortly. In the meantime, if you guys want to share this show, you can go to our Twitter page, Facebook, and YouTube page, and you're able to share it with your friends. Let's get more people on here. And if you actually want to be on the show, go check out our Twitter page. We have the StreamYard link there. If you don't have Twitter, then no problem. You could still send us a message on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll drop the link there as well if you want to join. Other than that, we will see you here in about a minute, everyone. All right, and we're back, everyone. Again, thank you for tuning in here to our live show tonight. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our team member here that we have on today. And again, if you want to join, send us a message or go to Twitter and you'll find the StreamYard link. That is what gets you in our studio, and we'll have you on here so we could talk all things Sacramento Republic versus Los Dos here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get Jared on here. Jared, welcome to the show. How's it going, man?
Excellent. It's Friday. We have match days in a couple days, and we're coming off of a win. I mean, can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. I mean, if we wouldn't have gotten the win, it'd be sadness. We probably wouldn't even be doing this town hall tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So luckily that happened there. I do want to make a mention here at the beginning of the show, and if you guys heard our most recent podcast, you know maybe what I'm about to say. But happy early birthday to our podcast mom Sharon, who might make a little quick appearance here tonight. We'll see if she's able to be on here or not. But we wanted to extend our happy birthday to her. She is gonna have her birthday tomorrow, but we would definitely want to make sure that we do a happy early birthday here. So if you want to wish her a happy birthday, feel free to leave that in the comments. Send us a message. We'll get it out to her. Yeah, if you want to buy her a drink, then
Salud.
There's one. Yeah, I'll drink up here to my. There's actually just water in glass. It's not.
Hey, that works. that works.
All right, great. Well, I'm starting to see some people jumping on. Thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your Friday night here with us to talk about this game that we are going to have this Sunday. Again, if you want to join, check out the StreamYard link so you can be on the screen here as well. But other than that, let's go ahead and get right to the game, Jared. And let's talk about, first of all, who do we want to see in our starting 11 for this match? What are some players that you want to see for this match?
Well, I already know at least one player we kind of don't want to see starting, but that's neither here or there. But some of the names I would love to see on. I mean, we want to get. Of course, the moment I get to thinking, I draw a blank. But no, I mean, I would love to see Mario Penagos come on. I mean, hopefully, we can keep history going on, and I would love to see some of the magic that Juju had in Las Vegas come through again. So that's at least a couple. Rafi, most definitely. I mean, maybe if it gets to maybe 2 or 3 goals ahead, if we get that far, maybe have Saldana come in for maybe a few minutes. If it comes to that, but I'm not sure. But there's definitely a lot to choose from as far as who I would like to come in. But folks that watch on the regular kind of know the past couple matches who we really don't want to see start. I mean, they're good for coming off the bench, but that's just our opinions.
Oh yeah, there are definitely a couple that I can think of, but the one that has to come to mind, and it's the one that I just keep talking about, is Patrick Weah. I do not. I just do not want to see Coach give him a third game in the starting 11, because it's really important that we start the best, because we're in a crunch right now. We can't afford to start a player that isn't quite ready, that isn't ready for these last couple of matches that are going to be really intense. And I really want to see Formella again in the starting 11. I don't want to see him come back in the bench, because we got lucky in the last game, right, that we were still tied. But any other game, if we start losing, I know he's going to panic and sub him in, but you can't wait till that happens, right? You have to make sure that you have everything that you got right at once. If he wants to bench Cameron or Belmar, fine, but I think that Patrick needs to come off from the bench, right? Like Podcast Mom was saying, that Formella is one player that he might be different when he comes in from the bench, but maybe Patrick is that kind of player too, right? Maybe he's the kind of guy who he needs to come off the bench, and if he does doing good, then all right, great. You could keep me quiet, right? Like, show us, right? Maybe I'm the one that's wrong here, but I just think that it's too risky to continue to start him, because yes, he's shown a couple of good plays here and there, but he's not finishing his plays, and I just think that he's just being thrown into a fire that you can't expect someone to put the fire out, right? Because he hasn't played so much, and you can't put a player under that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can blame rust or anything like that. I mean, I'm sorry, the fella is still fairly green. I mean, we need some experience, at least some youthful energy that has been proven. I mean, like with Panagos, Hayden, although I'm sure Hayden is probably still injured, but you kind of get where I'm headed with these selections. But perhaps Weah may be just that spark plug off the bench, just kind of like how Tucker Bone was for us when he was injury free, of course. So who knows? Maybe Weah can prove us wrong.
Oh yeah, I always say, right? I'm all for being proven wrong, and right now, I really hope that people don't see me as like the person who just doesn't like Patrick, because maybe the guy has something, right? Maybe we just haven't really seen it yet. But I just think that you put him under this pressure of, like, you're starting, we expect you to score a goal, and if he keeps missing his chances, I mean, it's kind of hard to blame a guy that hasn't played all that much. And then we wonder, right? Last minutes, we're having some opportunities, but you can't wait till the last minute when you sub in Cameron and Darek for them to, like, get it right the first time, right? You can't even also put them in that pressure. So I just think coach needs to figure that out, because as much as I know that he tends to be the kind of coach who says that he only puts the best, right? He doesn't care who you are. He's not going to respect any name, right? He's going to put whoever played the best during that whole week. I just think that you just can't continue doing that, because I mean, there's some players that sure they might do good in training, but it's a whole nother story once you actually go out and play on the pitch, especially in these matches that we're getting to that last part of the season where we're playing against teams that are also under pressure, right? That are also wanting to give it their all, because it's now or never, right? And they depend on also getting those 3 points to qualify. So it's just it's a lot, right? And we could take a look at our starting 11 that we saw in this last game on Wednesday against Tacoma. And
oh man, all that yellow. You would think we're in a Wizard of Oz with all those yellow bricks.
Basically, and it's also going like a little pattern. See, it's like they're like interconnected.
Yeah, let's see. All we need now is for Rafi, Jaime, and Emil to have yellows, and we'd have a yellow V.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If they do that, which with Rafa, it shouldn't be too bad. I should call him Officer Rafa, right? I forgot
Yeah,
that's his name.
Officer Rafa, because he puts Tacoma on the shutdown.
I think it wouldn't be tough. In fact, if he gets a yellow card, then that's a good sign for us, right? That probably means that we're winning, and he's just like, crunching some time out of the game. So,
Yeah, either that or Los Dos is just trying to score more Oscars. I mean, they're a Hollywood team anyway, so.
oh yeah, we got to watch out for that. They're too close to Hollywood and to the Oscars as well.
Exactly.
Another player that I wouldn't be mad if he doesn't start in the starting 11 is probably Cuello. I know that he's had an opportunity here and there, but again, if he has to switch things around and he has to do what Sharon calls that I say, right, like the dream, like squad up front, like having Cameron, Belmar, and Darek, then by all means, get him out. Let's make sure we get the three guys up there and. Let's see what they do, right? We don't get to see him nearly as much as we would want to see them. So I say just go for it. Just start him off, and let's see what they bring to the table, right? I mean, these guys know what it takes to play and the team and all that. So why not?
Yeah, and Cuello's been getting a lot of minutes too. I mean, he's definitely had some opportunities. He's actually fared not terribly bad. So I mean. That probably explains why he's getting all the minutes, but I don't know. I mean, we could probably switch a couple things up around here as far as the lineup goes. I mean, granted, this starting 11 seemed to have worked in Tacoma. We just need to maybe tinker something a little different going down to SoCal.
Yeah, no, actually, they're going to come to us this time, luckily. So.
Oh yes, that's
yeah.
Okay, this is already starting to kick in, apparently. So, yes, it's a home match.
Luckily for us, it's a home match, right? We're done with LA. Thankfully, we're done with that because I always say, right? I do not like where they play at. I do not like Los Dos. I'm just people know I don't like these like MLS 2 teams, and luckily they're going to be gone soon because they don't even allow fans right at their away venue, and it sucks because we know we have people in Southern California who would go and support. We know Michael is actually going to be in that area. Like, come on, like you can't have a live soccer game without people. It's just not even a game. That's more like a training kind of a situation. That's not a game. If you don't have any people. And what they're doing out there is just really sad and really unfortunate that they're not allowing people. And like I always say, it's because they know more away fans are going to go to any game, no matter who it is. You're going to see more away fans than fans of, if there's even any fan that actually goes for Los Dos and all that.
It ain't the first time for LA sports. I mean, look at the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. They didn't do so good trying to play in their same stadium, right? Dignity Health, right? They try to play there, and
yeah, it didn't turn out all that great. But of course, now they've got their own place, I believe. The is that? I don't know that if they share SoFi Stadium with the Rams or not. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the past couple of years, whenever the Chargers have a game, it looks like an away game because you've got the other teams just dominating the stands there. But wouldn't surprise me if it was the same thing that happens if they let fans in at that stadium for Los Dos.
Yeah, they do actually share stadium. So SoFi was actually for both.
Oh yeah, okay.
And yeah, so they actually do share that, and yeah, that's an amazing stadium. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. And
yeah,
it's something else. I mean, if LA Galaxy wants to move stadiums, they should definitely move there, right? Leave their the place they're at now, and just go be called I think it's in Inglewood, if I'm not mistaken. So just be the Inglewood Galaxy. I think that sounds better than Carson Galaxy because more people know Inglewood, maybe more so because of Bruno Mars, right? I think he's from Inglewood, so
Yeah, I mean that'd probably work out because I'm sure that it's obviously newer than uh, Dignity Field, so it's definitely newer than that. But either way, for the regular season at least, we're done going to SoCal. Now it's just sticking to the home game against Los Dos.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I think with all the other players that are on there, I mean, I would want to see everyone else who was at the game again, except Patrick Well. I think the rest of the squad is good, and we talked about it on the podcast, right? I mean, Duke and Jordan, I mean, these guys are just flying on the wings, and especially Duke with those crosses. I mean, those are
Oh yeah.
dangerous crosses and all that. So, I mean, hands down, thank you, Reno, for just leaving because we got something good aside from a Tucker bone as well, right? So we got
Mm-hmm.
some gems from Reno that I'm pretty thankful that they came by. And other than that, I mean, all the other guys they've done really great. I'm glad Rafa's good, and we have him for this last stretch of the season. And yeah, hopefully we see that. But I have to say though, I think that coach is going to start Patrick again. It just coach is going to do anything that I say not to do, right? He's going to do it
Well,
again.
if they had the category for it on some of these sportsbook apps, since now we can illegally bet on sports, I would put maybe 50 down that he's going to start Weah if I could.
Yeah. Which if you think about it, it's like, well, these guys just basically just played on Wednesday, right? So it would make more sense to even have new faces that we didn't see in the starting 11 for this match because these guys might be a little tired from not only playing that day but just the trip right down to Washington and all that. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying they should probably he should probably consider, right, putting some of these guys on the bench. Maybe do Patrick, Mario, Emil, Jerome. They get sent to the bench, and then we see some of the guys that were on the bench on the pitch, and hopefully something like that too. Although in the back line, right, all the defenders, I'd keep all of them there. I'd keep Luis Felipe and Jaime as well, and all that. So
Yeah, definitely got to have Luis Felipe on the starting 11.
oh yeah, definitely. We definitely need him out there as well. So as far as which team scores first, who do you got in this match as scoring first? And let's go ahead and also give our predictions while we're at it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and knock those out. Uh, I would say Sacramento scores first, probably 38th, somewhere between the 38th and 42nd minute. So I'll go that way.
Okay.
So are we doing final score as well, or?
Yeah, let's do final score.
Okay. I am going to say 2-1 Sacramento. After our first goal, LA sneaks one in. I mean, they end up crowding the box and knocking one in past Rafa. But in the between the 76th and 83rd minute, I would like to say, trying to think of who would get it in. I would say Penagos gets one in during that time to put us up 2-1.
Okay, yeah, that would be really great. I think he needs a goal. I think it's been a while since we've seen him score, so that would be good to see that, especially because I know the Penagos family will likely be out there as they typically are always out there supporting their player and the team in general. So
Oh yeah.
hopefully they need a reason to celebrate even more, right, than just any other guy scoring a goal. So I think that we score first, but I'm gonna actually say that in this match we actually see a tie, and it's a 1-1 tie. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not that, but I see us scoring first in the first half, and then LA with like 15 minutes left, they tie, and we're all like, "Geez!" Like yeah, and it'll be it'll be one of those mistakes that we're like, "Come on, guys, you guys were not concentrated." um, So again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that that doesn't happen. Um, but it's like this LA team, we know what they're capable of, right? We know that we were beating them in that last game 2-0, and then we were close to actually losing 3-2 if it wasn't for that penalty kick that we got towards the end of the game. And so, I think we need to be really wary of that game, and that's why I hope that the players understand that as much as this team is below you, for one, right now they're below us because they have one less game than we do. But if they win, they're going to be tied. And not only that, right? But then they're going to still have one less game than we do. So
Yeah.
they could even potentially go above us. But we need to be careful, right? As much as we're trying to chase down Tacoma and Oakland and heck, even Orange County, we can't lose track of these guys who are also with a chance of also making the playoffs, right? They're in basically almost the same position that we are. And so they need to be fully concentrated. We know how tough this team is. We know how like quick they are, how dynamic they are with their plays, and so uh, I really hope they learn from those last games that we played against them, especially the last one. Because if you make the same mistakes, I don't know. Who knows? We might not be so lucky and actually tie the game like we did in the last game. So
Yeah, we just got to focus. We just got to focus on winning that match. I mean, if we get help from some of the other clubs, great, but let's not depend on that or spend time worrying about it. Let's just focus on these 90 plus minutes against Los Dos. And I hate to say it, we will have to, at least us the fans, we'll have to hope that Orange County and Phoenix wins.
Oh yeah, I know it's tough. I know I'm like, the last thing I want is to see Phoenix win, but it's so tough, right? It's like we need him to win. Actually,
Yeah.
we don't want
And,
them to win, but we need him to win. And
yeah, and with that thought in mind, I'm gonna have to rinse that nastiness out of my mouth.
oh yeah, yeah.
Ironically enough, this actually costs cheaper than a 12-ounce beer at a Rising match. So yeah,
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. They do get pretty pricey with everything over there. Right? I think they take advantage of the fact that it's so hot that they're like people are gonna have to pay for anything, right? I'm sure even a bottle of water costs like almost $10.
probably. And of course, you think you can cool off in the restroom? Nope, 30 degrees hotter.
They do it purposely so you get out of there and you're like, geez, I could really use something cold right now. All right, let me go.
I just got rid of this stuff, but now I need to get more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a scheme. They have something going on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but the good thing about everything is that the fact that Phoenix is already in first place, they're already pretty further away.
Yeah.
That heck, I mean, we know they're going to be first place,
Eh.
right? If they keep getting points at this point, it's just really more for them to like gloat in the fact that like, oh look, we've only lost 3 times right now this season, and look how much goals we've scored. All right, we're just going to keep going at it, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, as much as I'm like, yeah, that they'd be like scoring and winning again. Well, I mean they're not getting any much more benefit in winning more because they're already first place, and no one's gonna take that away from them.
Yeah.
So we
They're
actually just
they're a foregone conclusion, basically. I mean, they're pretty much locked in. I guess the quickest way they get in is if San Diego loses.
yeah, I guess yeah, that'd be the case. But I think that I mean they're further away. I'd have to do some math here, but I don't see that happening. Like them even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. So we actually just got Tina joining us here. So welcome, Tina.
Hey, Tina.
Hey guys.
So we actually right now at this point we were just talking about who we want to see in the starting 11. So we'll kind of throw the question back to you as well. Who do you want to see? What are some names that you definitely want to see, and maybe some that you don't want to see?
I think I want to see Formella start. I'd like to see Cam start too, personally. Though he's been doing a pretty decent job. At a minimum, at least I hope that the coach brings Cam off of the bench with some decent amount of time left in the game, not just with like
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think he did in the last game, so that seemed to work out pretty well. I think you guys have talked about it a few times. Wade doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot out there that's been super exciting, so not a huge fan of him starting. I'd like to see. I love Shannon Gomez. I don't know if he's competing right now with the rest. They just have such a good selection of defenders. I think it's hard because I can't really justify not starting McCrary or Nabi or Lacroix, and who was the last? They had some. Oh, Kate, and then Casey. I think has been. You can't really justify not starting any of them because they've all been doing amazing. So I think it's just a battle for a lot of the defenders, but I love Shannon. I think he does such a great job. He just he's up and down the field with amazing speed. He gets great crosses up front. So I wouldn't be mad at seeing him start. I don't know. I think he's been doing a pretty good job of the starting in the midfield. I don't have many complaints. I like Jaime. I want him to continue starting. I think he's been doing really great ever since he came back. So, yeah, and Luis. I mean, I can't really complain about the midfield. Coelho's been doing pretty good. He's had a lot of opportunities. So
yeah,
he's also I can't be too mad if he starts him. But like I said, I have a few. There's a couple other up front that I'd really like to see Formella starting again. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why all of a sudden Formella got pulled from the. I mean, there were some games he didn't even play, which to me is just very strange. So, I don't know what was going on with that, but
yeah. I think Sharon actually she mentioned that. I think it was just like a rumor, but I don't know if it was true or not that he actually was gonna get married or something like that, or he got married and
on social media that he got married, but so maybe he was actually he was out, maybe it was personal leave. It's hard to say when we don't really know when the guys aren't there, but yeah. It was just sort of strange that he was absent all of a sudden. So yeah, I think I like Jerome. We didn't get enough of a chance to really see too much of him before he got injured, but he did a really good. I mean, he scored twice, I think, right before he went out. So I like him in as well. We actually have a lot of really good players to choose from. It's just hasn't always been connecting and clicking.
Yeah. It's something we've been talking a lot about this season. The fact that there's not a whole lot of chemistry. I mean, there's some that are finally starting to pick up, but nowhere near as much as years past. I mean, that's definitely something we've noticed this season as well.
Because individually, they're all actually really great players. A lot of them are. I mean, there's some that aren't as good as others, but a lot of them really are pretty stellar players. It's just something together hasn't they're just having trouble getting the ball in the net ultimately.
Yeah. I mean, it's whether it be just maybe a couple 1 foot lower or something like that, or maybe they're just trying to launch it over into the next county. I mean, just seems like how it is. And yes, Sharon, it is Tina.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, birthday girl.
Oh yeah, hi.
Birthday.
Yeah, hi Sharon. Happy birthday too. And we did mention it here earlier. It is Sharon's or tomorrow will be Sharon's birthday, but we're getting her like a happy early birthday here as well. So yeah, if you guys want to leave her a comment, send her a message, feel free to do so there.
Once again, salud.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm glad that you also think about the Patrick. The coach needs to stop already. He can't keep starting him. He can't keep. I don't know what he's waiting for, and but I just have this feeling that he's gonna start him again on Sunday. That he's gonna do it.
And that's not to say he shouldn't play him. I mean, but I don't know why he's been starting. especially right out of the gate.
Yeah, I think Sharon might be onto something as far as maybe it was written into the contract that in order for us to receive him, we have to start him maybe for so many matches. I mean, it doesn't sound wrong. I mean that could well be it for as far as we know. I mean, it's not like we can. It's not like we can inspect the contracts or anything like that.
Unfortunately, right? How great would it be if someone could just tell us what goes on there? I'd be really curious salary wise. I just got to say, like, it'd be great if we had the data that you have, with teams from around the world, right? That share that data on like Transfer Market, right? The website.
Oh yeah.
So Sharon says, yes, chemistry is super important. Let's see how the kid does. I think you're referring to Patrick, right? By when you say the kid.
I'm assuming so because he's the newest one.
And he's young.
Yeah. It could be, but yeah, that would be the only explanation. I mean, if it is written in the contract, but kind of like how I said on the podcast, and yeah, she says he is young after all. Like I said on the podcast, like if that's something that they did, I don't quite understand why they would do that with the player who doesn't have that many minutes, right? I mean, it's one thing if it's like, again, Juan Agudelo, who is also playing in Minnesota. Great. Yeah, that guy is a veteran at this point. Osvaldo Alonso, that guy is also a veteran, also from Minnesota. So if it was that kind of guy, right, a guy who's already got a lot of experience, right, in him, then I could see why they would be like, hey, he's just barely coming back from an injury or something, right? And we just want to give him some more playing time. That's why if you want him, you better start him, right? There, I understand. And I wouldn't even complain. I'd be like, yeah, this guy is experienced. Great. He hasn't played in like a couple of months, but hey, it's okay because this guy has a lot of experience there. And Sharon says, I still believe Dark is best off the bench. Yeah, we're always going to disagree on that one. Well, either that or I think at this point, I just want anyone except Patrick to start. I just want to see like another player, right? A fresh take on the starting 11 up front, because clearly it's just not working out right now. So why do you keep insisting with the player who's just not working out in the starting 11, right? Sub him in, do all that. But let's see another guy take his place because he hasn't been with us the whole season. He's only been with us not even for 2 weeks right now. And so you can't keep insisting on that because the poor guy, you're putting more pressure on him than he needs to have. And it's not good there. Oh, Jesus. But there's also the training sessions where coach might see something we aren't aware of. Yeah, I kind of mentioned that earlier too, that, even if he does, I'm assuming he does see something in the training sessions, right? I guess that's why he subs them in. But at the same time, I got to say, and I've heard it from veteran players from just around the world, that it's a whole other thing training, right, versus actually playing a game. So you might be an all-star in the training ground, but sometimes, when you're playing the game, the pressure of the moment, again, we're in the end of the season, teams are like, even more putting pressure up front because they know it's now or never. If they don't get the 3 points, they might also be out of the playoffs. So it's, yeah. Oh, yeah, and you're saying some guys are going to train choking games. And, yeah. So.
Well, and like even Nabi, like he didn't start Nabi right away. Nabi had to prove himself, and then he earned his starting position, right? I mean, granted, I get that Nabi's been around longer and has had longer to prove himself, but
yeah.
But he didn't throw him in right away either. He gave him some time, and when he proved himself, then he started starting him. So yeah, it's very strange to me.
Well, also Nabi has experience with the Republic FC Academy, so that at least got him started in the system, so he knows it a little bit compared to Weah just starting out fresh for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, and I agree with Sharon. I think Cam should start. I think he's this season he has stepped up his game for sure. You see a hustle in him that we've seen in past year, not last year. Last year there was something not there, but you see that hustle that again back this year. So I think he'd be a great start.
Yeah, I agree. Last year was definitely not his greatest, but I'm glad to see him bounce back the way he has. I mean, that's the kind of spark that we needed from him to get back to the Cam of old, that we knew, the classic goat salsa that we all know and love.
Yeah,
which I'm glad, because everyone loves him so much. You want to root for the hometown boy for sure. Although now we have a few hometown boys, but yeah, I was glad to see him kind of turn a corner again this season.
Yeah, I know it's great when he gets subbed in, right? Because we're really loud and we're all like giving him a good welcome to the game kind of a thing. But let's take a break from some of those. I'd rather just give him a good welcome to the first half, but not like welcome to the last 15 minutes of the match. Because I don't know, I just don't like that, right? Like we're losing or we're tying, and the coach is like, all right, here you go, like help solve this game for me, right? And it's like, no, don't put him under that pressure. Like, come on. And he doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
and then then he doesn't start him right for the next game, or he's gonna sub him in again, and it's like, no, that's not how this works, right? Like, give this guy more playing time. This guy, we know what he's capable of, and he was already on a little streak, right? As we recall from past games, where I think he scored in like 2 or 3 consecutive games, and so keep at it, right? Keep giving him those opportunities there. Sharon's like, yeah, goat salsa.
And of course, there is a story behind that. It's a little bit lengthy, so maybe we'll throw it in on the last half or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm also curious because I just hear you call him that, and I've never questioned. Wait, where does goat salsa come?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll just go ahead and go through with it right now. A couple of years ago, the Phoenix Rising FC, back when they actually had, what was it? What's his name? Drogba actually play on the team, which he's also partial owner for. They decided to come up with this promotion of Drogba water. So that how it started off is like they had some water. There was this one match, I can't remember the exact match, but Drogba had ended up scoring, and then he actually hopped over the advertising fence or whatever and headed over to the VIP table and grabbed this kid's water, had a drink, and set it back down. And so that was the birth of Drogba water. So I figured that Cam Iwasa, it kind of rhymes with salsa. So I kind of threw that in. And this was around the time that Republic FC actually had a match and had beaten Phoenix. So I had put in a tweet of, was it Iwasa salsa is more than Drogba water. So I kind of ran with that. In fact, I even made a couple animated GIF files, at least one. It was from the movie Clerks, where someone had like a jar of salsa and was moving a tortilla chip like a shark fin, salsa shark. But I put on there a hashtag Iwasa, so it reads hashtag Iwasa salsa. But then once he actually ended up surpassing Rodrigo Lopez in goals scored, that's when I had to change it to GOAT salsa, because now technically, as far as number of goals for Republic FC, he is now the GOAT. I mean, not to discredit Roro. I mean, we still love Roro. I mean, even if he's playing for another team, but for goals scored, Iwasa is up there now. I mean, he is the king.
Okay. It all makes sense though. I never thought about that. Yeah, salsa Iwasa salsa. Wow.
Yep.
That is really cool. We'll have to talk to him.
He gets hit with so many it's like Connor. I know he was trying to force the Cammy Whammy and the Cam Burger for his.
Yeah, it's like no, it's no, just let goat salsa exist. At least that rolls off the tongue. I mean, it rhymes with his name somewhat. Plus, you could probably market it. I mean, hell, go to Rayleigh's, pitch their slap a label on their store brand salsa. Make a few extra dollars that way.
What they should do is work with Zocalo, since they're like a sponsor or a partner anyway, and try to wrap that together.
Yeah. Hey, if they can make a DeMarcus Cousins a sushi roll over at Mikuni's, why not?
Oh, you know what? Mikunis could do something like that, right? A sushi roll and then just call it comes with goat salsa right on it. And Naila Mikuni's a big time Cameron fan as well. And I think he's going to cater for I don't know if it's his wedding or for some other event, but he mentioned something about that. So I'm just saying, like there's a connection right there. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be an extra way to make some few dollars. I mean, look at Tyra Blackwood. I mean, he wrote that one children's book, and that's still selling pretty well, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the one about the alligator or something, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was a good book there. So let's go ahead and take a look at how LA Galaxy 2's previous games look like. How's their streak going too? So last game was last Saturday, and we were actually pretty happy about this one, right? They beat Oakland Roots 1-0 at Oakland as well. So that happened there, and that was really good for us because otherwise Oakland would be 4 points ahead of us at this point. And then previously, Phoenix Rising had a hard time. I mean, that's Phoenix beating them 4-3, and even with one red card there for them. Before that, Loyal beats them 4-2. Of course, before that, we know we had that 3-3 comeback game. And then before that, they beat the Lights 3-2. So they are in an interesting situation, right? But they did win the last one. So we are getting a team that is kind of motivated, right? I mean, they got an away win in Oakland, and now they are going to try and get another away win over here. They're trying to pull the NorCal double, to call it that way. And so we need to be careful because Oakland, as we know, right, they're also in a good streak, right? They're doing pretty good. So the fact that Los Dos actually beat them and we've had a hard time beating them ourselves, that says a lot. So we really need to be careful.
Yeah, we've really struggled with them for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's got to be a combination of the field issues. They're thinking we're easily gonna beat the new expansion team, well, quote unquote expansion team, and we just fall into that trap, and then we end up tying with Oakland 3 out of 4 matches. Whereas LA Galaxy, aside from that win against Oakland, if they didn't have that win against Oakland, I mean, it would be a full month that they've gone without a win. I mean, so yeah, they are kind of on the hungry side, and I can't see them completing the NorCal double. I don't see it happening.
Okay, yeah, hopefully.
Hope not. You could use
Hopefully
those
they
3
don't.
points.
Yeah, and after that, of course, they are going to play against Phoenix, San Diego, Lights, and then we see them again.
Horrible schedule, except for Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
I'm gonna have to put some. No, but then again, that means wanting Phoenix to beat them. I was gonna slap some money on the sports books, for that match, but I don't know. I would feel unclean wanting Phoenix to win.
But really, at this point, doesn't matter. Like, they're so far ahead.
Yeah. Oy.
Yeah,
look at that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're pretty. At this point, Jared, I mean, like, you got to root for Phoenix against Los Dos as well, because even though they're behind us right now, I mean,
We don't
like
want
I said,
the
they still have a
people
game.
around us to get the points. That's the problem, right? Is like
Yeah.
in Tacoma and LA, we need them to lose as many games as possible to help our cause.
Yeah.
Especially because they have a game in hand too, right? They win, and now we're tied again.
Yeah, it's just like Bart Simpson said: "We're damned if we're do, damned if we don't."
So it's pretty critical, and not just that, right? But if we think about tying criteria, right? So that they look at the 4 games that you played against your rival, and how many points did you get against them? Who got the most points? And right now, so far, we have that win we got at the beginning of the season, and then the tie that we just got not too long ago. And so right now we are sitting at 4 points, right, versus them 1 point. So we also have to consider that, right? If we end up tying with them, or both of us end up winning more, and then we're up in the table, and it's between 4th and 5th that we have them, it's going to be critical, right? That they are not in that position unless we actually beat them, right? Then we're all set there. But if we don't, then we need to.
Yeah.
Just like Sharon says, just say, Phoenix, just go do you. Just go do what you do best. I mean, they've only lost 3 times, right? So if they lose against one of those teams,
Oddly enough, that's not that far off from the casino that sponsors their stadium. Was it Gila River, Wild Horse Pass, and I forget the last one, but their catch line is "You do you." So Sharon's actually not that far off from that motto.
Oh, okay. So it's not too far from that. But yeah, so they're right there. We just need to make sure that they don't keep going. And I mean, other than that, I'm looking at the stats here, and I mean, look at that. San Diego's lost 10 times. We've lost less than San Diego, and they've just capitalized more on their ties, right? And actually have gotten more wins there. But at the end of the day, they've lost more. Heck, even Oakland, right? Oakland's lost more, and that's kind of interesting there when you take a look at that, right? Because they've lost more, and yet we're still below, right? But Oakland has managed to pull a win out of one of those ties, and
we've tied 8 times. Wow, that's a lot of ties in 1 year.
Yeah, 3 of them against Oakland alone.
Yeah, and speaking of that, again, that's gonna make that last game we play against them. Forget the 3 points; it's gonna be much more critical, right? Because again, if we look at the tying criteria, they don't look at goal differential as we can see from here, right? Because I mean, Oakland has a -7, Tacoma has -3. You would assume Tacoma would be above them, but Oakland has the advantage in the head-to-head competition. So that's what they take a look at, apparently. I could be wrong, but I think that if I'm not mistaken, that's how it's been now and also in the past. And so if that is the case, then that last game against them is going to be so critical, because if you get the win there, then now you have lead advantage over them in a tie situation, which could very well happen. I have a feeling that we are going to see 4th and 5th place actually tying points at the end of the season, and it's really going to depend on how well you did against those rivals and who passes. I think that's what we're going to see.
Very possible. Yeah, I think it's going to be a run between Oakland, us, and Tacoma. And I mean, LA's not out of the picture yet either, especially depending on how this game goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only ones that really sealed their fate is Phoenix and Las Vegas. Obviously, different directions, of course.
Right.
Oh yeah, most of the Las Vegas goals and wins. I mean,
my God, look at that goal differential for them. They're almost at 30 goals in the red.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I actually feel bad for them. I kind of do at some point.
Yeah, now I completely understand why Lucy Fuerza wanted me to help finish their beers after that match.
Yeah, it's understandable, and now I understand why they have that Estrella Jalisco section where it's like all you can drink, right? I mean,
because you need it.
Go drown your sorrows.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and this is why they do the extravagant promotions, right? Because if they don't do it, no one wants to go see a team that is more than likely going to lose, right? There's a 90% chance they're probably going to lose.
It's like, let's draw attention away from the product on the field, and let's have cash drops. Let's have people walk through inflatable colons. Let's have llamas. This, that. I mean, I understand you gotta be Las Vegas, with it all, but why not get a winning product on the field? That draws more people in. But we're just fans. I mean, we just watch the game from the seats and from the TV. What do we know?
Oh, right.
Yeah. People who actually care about the games.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that drop was disgusting. I saw that on TV, and that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get the cause for them having that inflatable colon, to raise cancer awareness. I totally get that, but you gotta think it through a little better. She says, I like Cherundolo. Unfortunately, they don't have a good product.
Yeah. It's a shame that, I mean, he got himself into something pretty bad, right? But I think before Cherundolo, I forgot the name of the guy, but there was also another former national team member who he didn't even get to actually coach a game. He was only with them for like 2 weeks, like preseason, and then he just left. So
Yeah,
even there,
and I still remember Calise when he was coaching the Vegas. He actually got red carded, and instead of walking to the locker room, he said, "Screw it, I'm gonna get up in the stands. I'll have me a cigarette, watch the rest of the game." that was badass. I will give that to Las Vegas, but that was when they were actually competitive somewhat, or at least had some flair. Now, yeah.
oh yeah, Winalda. There you go.
Oh
Thanks
yeah,
for him.
yeah. Winalda, yeah.
He left. He was only with them, I think, literally like just like 2 weeks, and I don't know what happened. So yeah, bad luck over there, man. That is bad luck and all that. And for the city that claims to say that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, I mean, not really, because you've had a lot of points taken away. They're really quite contrary to what they're supposed to be, and
Hey, we'll take it. We needed their points this season, so.
oh yeah, thank
we-
you.
We appreciate their sacrifice.
Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of them, let's take a look at who they play against next. I mean, they got the Loyal.
Boy.
I mean, we want the Loyal to also lose, right? We don't want them moving up either. But then they got Roots. See, this is why we need to win.
We wouldn't actually mind Las Vegas beating some of these teams, right? Because then again, it helps our cause.
If they need someone to cheer them on, so that way they end up beating Oakland and Tacoma, I could probably find the Las Vegas Lights FC scarf that I got in 2019 when they were giving them to first so many people. Anything to make sure that Oakland and Tacoma lose.
Yeah.
That and also maybe another trip to the Bellagio for brunch.
Oh yeah. But it's a shame that they have to visit them. That's the worst thing. They're playing away. It's like, oh gee, maybe one of those random promotions could have, like, I don't know, maybe boost their confidence or like distracted
their field is crappy, so I don't know.
And the air quality too. I mean, I got a couple pictures of the smoke from the match I was at back on Labor Day. I mean, you could just see like this huge wall just like sitting on top of the goalie and going further on. From the TV, it looks a little different, but I mean, you just see the defined lines of that smoke just hovering over that end of the field. It was horrible.
Yeah, so
and the camera quality.
To be somewhere else.
Oh yeah, that could hopefully. I mean, we could look at the recent games, right? They lost 4-1 against Phoenix at Phoenix, 3-0 against Orange County. Let's see, Oakland Roots already beat them.
Oakland though, so there's a chance there, and only one for Tacoma, so they've got a chance in those two games.
All right, yeah. Hey, as long as they pull a tie, at the very least, I just really hope that they can at least pull a tie.
Yeah.
Park the bus. Do anything. Put more than one bus. Put the bus driver there as well. Like, do all you can, right? Just, I don't know. They need to get creative and do anything.
Throw bottles of Jarritos at the ball. I don't care.
Bro, yeah, they probably should, right? Blind them with the lights, right? Do some light show or something.
Mm-hmm.
They need to pull the lasers out, right? They need to do something because, I mean...
Oh, that San Diego match. Ouch.
Yeah, 5-1, Oakland 3-1. But then this one, right? This is what gives me hope. This is my light of hope.
Yes.
Light of hope is this. I mean, I still don't understand what happened that day.
Well, wasn't that during Phoenix's, like, I mean, it was around the same time we tied them too, and didn't somebody else even them or almost tie them again? They had like 3 or 4 games.
That was before our match in Chandler, so that was like I think a week or so beforehand.
Yeah.
Phoenix had
2 weeks. Okay.
For like a week or two where they had a bunch of ties and 3 ties in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Oakland beat them as well, right at home.
Yeah. So so not sure what was happening with Phoenix at the time, but
Darn Phoenix! That they should have been in Oakland. See that they're at fault right now. They would have been in Oakland. There, we would have been in a much better spot right now. But
Yeah.
they couldn't get their ducks in a row and actually beat them. Come on, how did they? Yeah, I mean they beat Tacoma though, so that was good. That was a good draw there. Of course, they play against Tacoma tomorrow, so again, we expect them to beat them and do all that. They also play against Los Dos, so hopefully they can help us keep them, back there. Orange County, yes, Orange County might be a little bit further.
Oakland again too.
Oh yeah, Oakland. All right, so it's not too bad. We do face them more towards the end, but I'm glad that at least they get to take care of them before they play against us. So here's hoping they get into a really good streak until they play against us.
Well, and the good news is, I mean, I doubt it's going to come down to the very last game to determine. Although I could be wrong. So ideally by the time we play them, it's not the determining factor of whether or not we make it or not.
Yeah, although I'm not going to complain if we end up beating Phoenix. I mean, obviously that means 3 points. Obviously that's 3 points, but also a little bit of bragging rights because, granted, they beat us the first 2 games. We tied them the third, and if we could win or even tie them, that's at least something. It's a kind of a push, and that's
you can tell even that tie hurt them.
Oh, I was on the pub to pitch shuttle going back to Tempe, and I was hearing folks, saying, "Oh man, there goes our like 30 some odd game streak of scoring or something like that." And I'd even posted a meme like something like, "Yes, it's a tragedy." Anyway, because
I gotta jump for a bit. I have to go pick up my nephew. I'll check and see if you guys are still going when I get back, though.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah, they were in a streak there, but I mean, I like that they play against Tacoma in that last game, right? When we play against San Diego, same same time as well.
Yes, 7:30 kickoff. Yeah.
Oh, that day we might be like on and off checking standings and.
Oh, I remember there was one time that I was checking to see how Phoenix was because if they had lost, we would get the number 2 seed. And there was some guy in the TBB stands like, "Put your phone away, watch the game." And I wanted to say something, but I chose not to because I was trying to keep track on if we win and if Phoenix ends up losing, which ended up happening, that jumped us into the number 2 seed for the playoffs that year. So. I don't know. I mean, perhaps I may refill with the beer and then also check out how the score is going, or I may just set up notifications, something like that.
Let's go back in the time machine. Actually, now that you mentioned that, and go back and look at the literally right old glory days, right? And this is the season you're talking about right here, right? This was in 2018. Man, look how magical those numbers look like. 34 matches played, 65 points. Why can't we be there?
This be back. I mean, first of all, Reno and Portland. Oh,
good night, Sharon.
Yeah, this is seeing Reno, seeing Portland, seeing Penn FC. I mean, they're not around anymore. I mean, they used to be the old Harrisburg City Islanders that we beat for the title in 2014.
Oh yeah. That was the old Penn FC.
St. Louis FC. They're not around anymore. Sporting KC, Eastern Conference.
Look at that. Who can forget when San Antonio was just 3 points away from making to the playoffs? And they did make it to the playoffs.
Nope. Yeah, OKC Energy, they were kind of questionable back in the day. But then again, every single match I went over to Oklahoma City for to see OKC versus Sacramento, each and every time it was a 0-0 draw. Come on, I flew all this way, pretty much filled my stomach with those delicious bratwursts just to see a 0-0 draw again.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, like seeing, and I think even at home, right, we would tie also against them, and it was like, geez, you guys can't beat this team, and they're not even that great.
Yeah, but look at them now. I mean, now that they've got Villian Bijev, I mean, God, they're just tearing it up.
Oh yeah, they're doing much better now, and look how it was in those days when
Oh,
Tulsa was the Roughnecks, but they still call them FC Tulsa here for since they updated it, but they were
yeah.
Tulsa Roughnecks.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I actually did a meme about when we had beaten them. It was kind of tied in with Starship Troopers because for those that watched the movie, we remember the infantry unit were called the Roughnecks. But yet I had done a meme saying if one OK field is such and such, I mean we just obliterated them. Or some roughneck, something like that. I'll have to dig up the animated gifs or something like that sometime soon. But yeah, I mean they weren't exactly so rough against us. I mean they have improved ever since they went to FC Tulsa, but not by much. But now that they're in the Eastern Conference, yeah, they're blowing up.
Oh yeah, they're doing much better now, and well, ever since the rebranding right of the team, it's like a lot of things changed. As Joaquin let us know on all that, and
Yep.
yeah, a lot of that was different now, and look, Tacoma and Las Vegas Lights, right? Lights are where they typically are, but come on, Tacoma, that's where they belong. What's going on, Tacoma? You should have 25 points. You shouldn't be like up there with 30 points right now. You should be at this point 20. I mean, look at that, 25 points, 34 matches, and what's going on?
And then you've got Fresno. Oh, Fresno, how we would beat them up and down the street.
With great goals as well, I should add too, right? Really good stuff there. And Reno too, right? Another great great game that we would have against them. I look how great this table looked like, right? I remember this particular season too. We could have been first place as well. I think I was also taking a look at the OC game, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was a chance that we could have snatched first place, but then OC of course won, and we were like, they're in first place, but we
Yeah.
were close to snatching that first place. Like, I mean, look at how we were beyond Phoenix. I mean, yeah, this
But
that
yeah.
season we had a great team. I remember that it was really great, and I mean, I don't think it'll actually show us the. Yeah, it's gonna show us now here too. But that season, it was just really really great stuff, and unfortunately, right, it ended with us actually losing, right, getting out of the playoffs, and actually doesn't even show us here that, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, I think let's see
I was,
who.
I
Oh,
was
that was the Sporting KC, right, when we played against them. From what I look at the table, yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't that was the season when I think Tyler Blackwood was with KC, right? And then he scored against us.
I think so. I mean, I want. God, I'm trying to think. He played for other teams as well. I mean, because I know he played for Phoenix at least 1 year. Yeah, if I remember correctly. But he also did play for St. Louis FC for a little bit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, well, that was Soul Park Rangers back then, of course. Sporting KC too,
Yeah.
which I was more of a fan of it being called Soul Park Rangers than adding the MLS2 name, which was like, here we go again, here we go.
But also for a real short time, they ended up having to play in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, at a high school. So we kind of nicknamed them South Park Rangers. Because I remember posting on Twitter, it's like, okay, so at this rate, y'all couldn't play over at Hummer Park over in Topeka. I mean, but y'all gonna play in Shawnee Mission at a high school. But then again, I also have to remember that technically Taft Stadium in Oklahoma City is kind of tied to Taft High School. So, but at least Oklahoma City, Energy can work it. I mean, they can work with it. But Sporting KC, no, not that much.
Yeah, especially coming from an MLS2 side, right? It's like, come on, they should have a pretty good venue. You got the backing of your MLS side. But yeah, I do remember now you said, right. He came to us from what was Phoenix Racing before, called Arizona United.
Arizona, yep.
Yeah, which I remember that name. I wasn't a big fan of that name when they were Arizona United. It's just like It's like, I don't know. That just the name didn't really seem too appealing. It just seemed like any other name, right? Oh, here goes another United.
Yeah,
uh, so yeah, that was his career there. But yeah. Oh man, how different times have changed, and yeah. But I remember, yeah, 2018 squad was really good. I mean that's the same year that we went to Open Cup, right? We gave LAFC a run for their money, and we were so close to taking it to PKs, and how great that would have been. Not even necessarily PKs, extra time, I believe, um, in the Open Cup, and me being there, it was a really great experience, and all that at the Bank of California. And so that we had a really good team that season. I miss that team so much, because that team should have gone further than we did, and it was unfortunate that game against Swope Park Rangers just didn't really go all that great, right? It was one of those weird games where it's like could have been better. And actually, you know what? I'm just now realizing something that I didn't realize back then. But why
Oh.
is it that we played away when we were second place? You recall that? We played away, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
I'll have to go back. What happened there? I'm like,
Yeah.
how was that?
Well,
Let's see.
Well, I want to say that was when they had the issue as far as not being able to play in KC at first. So there was talk about them relocating a match to Sacramento, but then a whole bunch of Sporting KC fans threw a hissy fit and everything like that, and they said, "Oh, I guess we'll have to have the match in KC," because I think there was some sort of
Oh, yeah.
weather related issues happening.
Yeah, I remember. I think they were gonna have like lightning or something, and then we were all confused, right? Because the team was saying like, "Oh, you can buy your playoff tickets," and I was like, "Well, we can buy them already. What? Why are they saying that they're gonna have the game?" But oh, actually, it says Hartwell Park. Why does it say that? It wasn't at Hartwell Park, right? It wasn't, right? Or am I?
I don't think it was.
I don't recall it being there. Is there any? Oh, here we go. All right, we'll find out here. I'll put it as much as I hope YouTube doesn't shut me down. It's happened before. I hope the live doesn't get shut down, but I'll just quickly just skim through it just to see here real quick. Oh wait, look, it was. It was? Wow. I really remember something different. I don't remember that.
Interesting.
I don't remember it being. What, or did we play against them twice? Wait, no, I'm like,
We wouldn't have played against them twice, but I could have thought that the playoff match was out in KC.
I recall it being two, because I remember us like the losing over there and just feeling like, all right, we're done. So, huh? This is strange. So Parker, let's just do a play. Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I guess those.
I wonder if it might be under news as far as the whole debacle between who was going to host the match. Let's see.
I remember us playing a game at Swope Park Rangers at one point and actually losing, and it was like that was it. It just. Oh, here it is right here. It was 2017. I think I just got my year wrong. It was 2017.
Okay.
So Park Rangers playoff review, yeah. It was 2017. Yeah, so Park Rangers number 4. Okay, that makes sense. See, they were number 4, we were number 8 in the previous season. Okay. That makes sense now. All right. I was like I know I was definitely not dreaming, because I remember them just kicking us out of the playoffs that season, and me just saying that, man, we just got eliminated by a 2 squad.
Yeah.
Yep, that's see, there it is. After a strong effort on Twitter by SPR supporters and the hashtag Don't Rob the Rangers campaign, the game was moved to Sporting KC Stadium Children's Mercy Park.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we just had the wrong year. Okay.
Yeah, that's when they started. Which I was kind of shocked, right? A two squad actually getting defended by fans of the first squad, right? It's like, whoa, you guys actually do support. You guys actually do have some people that support you guys.
Well, from personal experience, there isn't a lot out in Kansas, Missouri area. I mean, other than Kansas City. So I mean, back then the Chiefs weren't doing all that great. The Royals were, yeah, I mean, the Royals were doing all right, but as far as any other sports, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, because of course they don't have a basketball team, right? There's
Other
nothing there.
but that's about it. I mean, you've got KU or Kansas State or maybe Missouri. That's about it.
Okay, so that was it. All right, I'm glad we got clarification on that because I was like, I know we played against them. It happened at some point, and so yeah, I'm glad we got that. But we're back to 2021. This is our reality right now.
Yep.
This is what we're facing. Unfortunately, it's not like previous seasons where we've had a really good cushion, right? Where we're not even thinking about like, oh, are we gonna make it or not? We're thinking about like, are we gonna be up there? Are we gonna host a playoff game so we can actually go to a home game, or are they gonna make fans actually travel, right? To
Yeah.
that one game. And like I said on the show, right? I mean, the situation here is like, sure, second place San Diego Loyal is at 37 points, 8 points away from us, but they have one more game played than we do. And if we win, we are going to be 5 points away from them. The guys need to just give it their all. Like, of course, we'll be happy if we qualify, even if it's in fourth place, because at least we'll get playoffs. But there is a chance that they just can't let it go, right? There's a chance we can actually see a home playoff match after thinking that our season was over. So I'm just saying they need to be super motivated for that because we want to see them this season. And not just that, right? But you advance to the playoffs, and then what ultimately I believe ends up determining who it actually hosts is still how many points did you get, right, out of the games, because everyone plays the equal amount of games. And so they take a look at that. So you definitely want to keep moving up in the point chart. But we are facing, or our group teams are going to be facing the Mountain division, which this is how it's looking like right now, right, in the Mountain side.
Yeah.
We got the next teams are up there too. RGB trying to make also a run for it. Colorado Springs right there, but basically that's how it works, right? So first place of our division, which is Phoenix right now at this point, it's practically, like we said, it's going to be Phoenix. It's almost impossible for someone to take it away from them. They're going to be playing against fourth place in this group. And of course, vice versa. Their first place plays against whoever barely makes it. And so that's why I keep saying there's a good likelihood that we qualify in fourth place. We're going to see El Paso again. It's just going to happen there. But we qualify in, say, I don't know, third place. We could see San Antonio again. And you know what? Nothing would make me happier than beating San Antonio, even if we are not champions of our division. I would be okay.
They better not host it at Heart Health Park. Not with that a whole bunch of sheriff's deputies out there, because someone's gonna bring back the beer bottle brigade days from Reno if Mitch Painter takes the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like if we were to play against them, of course, it would be like an away match, right? Especially if we're in third place. But that's not to say that if we're in second place, right, that can't change. I'm trying to remember if it's just purely based on points or if they also look at the position on table, right? To kind of establish that, because if that is the case, then it might just be Phoenix actually hosting games, and most of the Mountain division teams are going to actually be getting their games at home versus ours. But I mean, that division is slowly but surely starting to be a little more defined. I mean, RGB and New Mexico, they're 5 points away from fourth. I guess New Mexico has one game more to play, and they can get a little bit more closer there. But it's looking like Colorado, San Antonio are getting a little way from there. So if anything, like I've been saying already for months, like we need to be thankful that we're in our division, because our division, which was considered to be the group of death, right? I think is what they were calling it, right? The tough group and all that. And when you look at some of these other groups, it's like, we're pretty thankful we're not in the mountain division, because things we would be in a pretty bad spot right now, right? Because with our 29 points and 24 matches played.
Well, also we would be tying all these games against Oakland and a couple other teams. I mean, we would have a little bit of a fight in there. I mean, the one thing I can really say that we have trouble with is yes, definitely El Paso, and San Antonio has started scrapping as of late. RGV, I mean, that Rio Grande Valley, I was kind of hoping they'd make a little bit more noise, especially since they got Roro.
Yeah, and they started off in a pretty good pace, right? Too, right? They were in the top spots. I think they were like at second place at some point, and I thought, okay, great, right? It's all good for them. I don't know what's been going on with them lately. I mean, it would have been awesome to see a Sacramento against RGB game at Hart Park, right? I mentioned that, us seeing Roro again. That would have been really amazing, and it could still happen. I mean, right? I mean, for all we say right now, right? I mean, they could always make a run for it. There's 32 games in the season, 8 more games remaining for them. So, I mean, anything can happen. But it's like it's a little bit further away, and that's why I say we gotta try and go for that second place spot, right? I mean, first place is gone. We can't even think about it anymore. It's not, if we qualify, we're not playing against the fourth spot in the USL, but we'd probably be playing Colorado Springs, which, there's also another former guy there with Matt Mahoney, Sharon Swivelhead. So there's that. I mean, that would be pretty cool to play against them again too and see them out on the pitch. And so we just need to give it our all, right? Because we played against El Paso already. They're a tough squad. I would argue they're tougher than Phoenix, right? At least from what I saw on the pitch in those games we played against both of them. And so this is why, sure, we want to qualify, but if you want to have a good chance at passing that first round, you got to make sure it's not El Paso. And if you want to avoid El Paso, you need to get third place in your group, and you'll avoid them. Well, at least for the first game, right? If you get third place, you avoid them in the first game. If you get second place, then altogether you're avoiding them until the grand finale, right, of the Western Conference. And so, And
unfortunately, we've not had a great playoff history against El Paso, because that's the same club that we lost to in 2019 in the I want to say the quarterfinal or semifinals of the Western Conference. I mean, we went somewhat deep, and then we took on El Paso. They beat us in El Paso, from my memory.
Yeah, that I believe it was semifinals, and we can kind of see. They don't have the historical matchups here. Actually, that was 2019. Actually, here we go. Yeah, that was this one. When they beat us 3-0, it was a terrible game. I remember that game. They scored first, and then we were so desperate to get that tying goal, and then they just they took advantage of that, right? And then just scored there, and
they just slammed the door on us.
Yeah, and would you look at that's when Jerome was with them.
Mm-hmm.
He got subbed out, right? It's like, and James Kiffey, of course, right? We can't forget about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's see. We had Thomas Ennevolton, Kevin Huffman. I think. Yeah, I mean, he's no longer with us, if I remember correctly. Let's see. We had Sam Warner. I mean, I still miss him, but he couldn't really do much. I think probably because of injury or something like that. So he ended up retiring. Drew Skundrich. I mean, he's with DC United now. Juan Barahona. and then that guy at number 4 or whatever, Deco Kanan.
Recently signed by the Lights, actually. If we make the mention, right, the Lights just signed Deco.
I thought it was someone else. I mean,
Yeah.
they had someone with the last name of Kanan, but not the same one. They had him on as like a part of the staffing or something like that.
No, yeah, he's right there too. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, as a central defender for Las Vegas Lights. Yeah, he
Wow.
he's still at it. Yeah, I thought he was gonna retire after playing with us, but
Wow. Well, good for him that he's still playing.
yeah.
That's,
So he's comes out of retirement at age 37 to help fix
Oh.
USL's worst defense.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's back at it.
Damn. I thought he was like being brought on like as a coaching staff or something like that because I saw the last name, but it looked like a different first name.
Yeah, I guess he's. I mean, it would be good if he was also on their coaching staff. I'm just saying, right? For that defense they have, I mean, they could really use him.
They're as bad as my Jets O-line. I mean, I'll put it that way. Oh, and then I see that number 1, Bobby Shuttleworth. Oh my God,
Oh yeah, that guy.
Easily the worst goalie we've had. I mean, that man just gave up so many cans of corn. I thought he was working for a food bank.
Yeah, that guy. I wonder where is he at now? Is he? Oh, look at that. He's at Chicago Fire now. He ended up actually.
No
How
wonder.
does that happen?
Oh God, he's with the dumpster fire now.
Yeah. How does that happen, right? Oh, and look at that. Minnesota actually had loaned him out to us. So yeah, that relationship we have with Minnesota, I'm just saying it's been going on actually for a while now. Now that I go back and realize that. So he came to us from there. So not a good sign, right? And I mean, Nabi, I think, is the only exception as of now to come from Minnesota that has actually been pretty good. But other than that, I mean, anyone else who wasn't in Sacramento that comes from Minnesota, it's like, it hasn't been.
Yeah,
working out.
Because we got him once. Once Josh Cohen had left us and went to Israel to play top flight over there. I mean, thankfully it worked out excellent for him over there. But just getting Shuttlesworth, I mean, we just got one of the rawest deals around. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah. So that's what we had there too. I do miss Kevin Alemán. I think that he just gave a lot in the pitch, and unfortunately the injuries weren't good for him. And when he was finally match fit, the coach was just not putting him in. And they had some situations there too, right, as he's mentioned before on the shows and all that. But it's a big shame that the coach, right, was the reason why he ended up having to leave, because he was a different player on the pitch. I mean, he brought something else that other players didn't have, and it's such a shame. I mean, that got me really mad when I found out that he was going to be transferred out and that he was match fit and the coach wasn't actually subbing him in. It's like, come on, why do you not sub in this guy, right? Yet there's other guys that got more playing time than he did, when this guy clearly, when we saw him just a few times we saw him, he was a great guy on the pitch and off the pitch as well. I mean, he was open to doing interviews and all that, and so it's like, come on, why coach? But yeah, that was our previous coach, and unfortunately, right, that happened in that match. And yeah, so that's what we're looking at now, right? I mean, it's going to be just an interesting next week and a half that we have in store here too, right? Because I mean, we get LA Galaxy 2, then we got Tacoma Defiance, we got the Roots, the Loyo, Los Dos. You got to be on point. They have to make sure that you get first those 3 points at home in this and these next couple of matches. and then you start to look at what the other teams are doing, right? But I think more so not just looking at what the other teams are doing, but also making sure that you get the 3 points. Because, if the other teams lose, it does you no good if you're also imitating their same behavior and also following their path, right? As what happened last weekend where they lost, we lost, and it's like you guys could have been that much closer to them. Even a point would have been good at this point because we would have been tied with them in points and maybe a whole different story now, right? But it's like they didn't do that, and and that's kind of where we're at. So, as far as tomorrow goes, some games to be on the lookout for. Since we do play again on Sunday, this is actually kind of good because by the time we play our game, we're gonna have a good idea of like what's our table looking like, right? Because the rivals that are above us have already played their game by the time that we play our game, and hopefully maybe that injects some motivation if they lose their games and whatnot. But things are starting off at 7. Well, actually, at 7 we got the 3 games, right? So we got Las Vegas Lights against Deloyo. Again, rooting for those Lights to pull the win. And as much as Deloyo are up there with 37 points, still, right? We want them to lose. We win. We get closer to them because here's the situation, right? Deloyo, again, I explained it already, right? If we win, we're gonna tie in a matches played with them. We are gonna be only. Believe if I'm not, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. We're gonna be only at 5 points away from Deloyo, right? If Las Vegas pulls the win, we happen to get the points as well. Guess what? We're only 2 points away from them, right? Because the Loyal is sitting at 37 points right now. We're sitting at 29 points. You get the win. We're at 32 points. Just 5 points away from them, but they would still have one more game in hand. And so you could potentially be 2 points away from them when you finally tie in matches played with them. And so that's one thing to keep a look out on. And so that's why people should also not disregard that game as much as the Lights are gone already. They're basically eliminated at this point. And then looking at the bottom right, Orange County against the Roots. We want the Roots to lose. We've said it before. It sucks that it's got to be against Orange County because I would also want Orange County to lose because Orange County is sitting in third place with 34 points. Heck, we win the next game. They lose. We're just going to be 2 points away from them. But, Oakland Roots is 1 point above us right now, right, at 30. And so they win. They're going to be at 33 points, just 1 point behind Orange County. So I guess what I'm trying to say with this game is that as much as we do want Orange County to win, I'm still rooting for them, literally rooting, right? Just because we got the Roots right there.
Yeah.
I think it's not anything bad if we actually do see Orange County lose against the Roots, because that would just mean that, of course, we have to win as well, right? So that way we can actually get something out of this. We would just be 2 points away from Orange County and still, of course, just 1 point away from Oakland Roots. And that would just put us that much closer to them. Of course, if they tie, that might be the more ideal scenario, right? You keep both teams at bay, you win your match, and Orange County goes to 35, you go to 32, you're just 3 points away from Orange County, and now you are above the Oakland Roots, right, at that point, because you'd be at 32, they'd be at 31. So it's a little tricky, right? But I think I'm hoping for a tie for this one, so none of them move too far. You still, you're gonna be close to Orange County, close to Oakland, all that's there. That's what we would be looking at, that scenario. But again, I guess now that I laid out all the scenarios for that match, it doesn't really matter what happens. There's going to be something good that we can take out of that, regardless of the scoreline. But a tie would be our ideal scenario there. And then, of course, Tacoma Phoenix, hands down, right? As much as I know, Jared, it hurts to say, we need handball raising. We need Mr. Handball Asante. You could score 10 goals in Tacoma. That just demolish them. Just do it.
Just don't let James Musa score them own goals again. I don't think his old boy can take that much.
Oh yeah, please don't let him, because If he does, they're
He,
just gonna be screwing up with us.
he ain't gonna be walking right for another week.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't let it happen. It is a little cool up in Washington though, right? So I mean, I guess
Yeah.
to his favor, it'll be a little cool weather. So maybe if that helps, right? It's like, all right, you won't need to bring some ice or anything. Like you're gonna you're gonna have the cool weather surrounding you.
Alex
Um,
won't be melting. Just barely leaving from the sidelines. But then again, it is actually getting a little cooler here. In fact, I think Sunday or Monday we're only supposed to be in the 80s. I mean, upper 80s. So that's definitely a big change for us.
oh wow, that is like winter weather for you guys.
Pretty much. I mean, practically hoodie weather compared to the actual summer.
Yeah, wow, that's good. I'm glad, and I hope that when we play Phoenix, things stay the same, and yeah, that'll help us much better too. But yeah, so those are the games for tomorrow. Again, 7 p.m. Tune in, have those games there. Let's. I hate that they're all three at 7 p.m. I mean, it's like, come on, they should have at least done one 7:30, one 6:30 or 6 or something. But it's like,
Well, think of it this way: for those of you that have an Xbox, like an Xbox One S or so, and you have the ESPN app, you can multicast. So you can have those three games up at the same time, and you can switch audio just like it was DirecTV, how they have those sports channels. So you can certainly do that. In fact, I don't know if I'm not busy packing for Oklahoma for the next week. I'll probably end up doing that.
yeah, oh, okay, that's a good option. I wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, yeah, definitely something that you would want to do so you can keep track of the three games there, or set the notifications to let you know when the goal comes through, so you can see what our scenarios are. But again, luckily for us, I mean that our game isn't until Sunday, and at that point we're already gonna know what the standings look like, right, and all that. So I mean it's going to be quite interesting. Like I said, right? Oakland, Orange County, they're right there. They play against each other. Someone's going to bump someone down, or they're both just going to get the 1 point and leave it at that. Um, but depending right how the scenarios play out, I mean, there's a possibility that we could be in fourth place, or that we could have a chance at being in fourth place on Sunday, and
Yeah.
being that it is OC hosting Roots, you would think, all right, they might have that home advantage, right? Possibly, and because they know that they're rushed to get a win, they could very well beat them. And I really hope that if we are in that scenario where we know that if we win, whether it's because they tied or because Orange County beat Roots, I really hope that they understand how important it is going to be to get those 3 points, because you get those 3 points and now it's not up to anyone else. Now it's on your side. Like the ball's in your court. You got to make sure that you keep it that way, because it's like it will depend on us to be in the playoffs or not. But again, it all starts with getting that win, and but if the situation presents itself, you got to take advantage. You can't afford to lose, because I mean the odds look like, and just in paper, right, that okay, the Roots and Tacoma might lose again, right? And you're playing against LA Galaxy 2, they're below you, and you're not going to have easy rivals in the remaining of the season. They're all going to be pretty tough, and so in looking at all the rivals we have left, Los Dos is really like the quote unquote easy team, right? Quote unquote, just because they're below us at this time being right now. And so they need to take that into consideration, because this might be our shot at being a fourth place team, and just beyond that, right? I mean, it could just keep going. So we'll see. And this is why it's really important to keep a close eye on those games, because they're going to say a lot. They're going to paint a picture, and definitely, I mean, if we see Roots and Tacoma win, then the pressure is on even that much more to be like, hey, you guys got to win, because if we don't win, not only do they just all of a sudden just are 4 points away from you. But now you also got those tying in points with you. They're also going to have one more game left to play, right, to catch up to us in games at that point. And they might be, they might even be 3 points away from us if that happens, right? And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be something else on Sunday. I'm just saying that what we're going to be hopefully in for a treat of a game, because Los Dos is going to be like crazy, right? They're going to try and get those 3 points as well, because they too are trying to make their playoff run. So, man, we're going to be in for quite a weekend. I'm just saying it's going to be good, hopefully for us.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's the scenario we're in. We'll see where we're at after this Sunday's game, because then we get a whole week off until Saturday, but then it's on, right? Then after this Sunday, it's like, guys, get ready, because you're in for 2 weeks, 4 games. A lot can be decided, and I'm willing to almost say that I have a feeling that after the game against Los Dos, the last game we play against them, right before we play against Tacoma Defiance, right, for the last time as well, I think that the playoff situation is going to be much more clear. I don't think teams are going to be too close to each other. I think it's just going to be a battle between 4th and 5th, but I feel like 6th and 7th place are already going to be defined. I think these next 4 games are going to pretty much lay the picture of what the playoffs are going to look like. And those last couple games are just going to help figure out who's 4th, who's 5th. That's how I see this. And I hope that it's not us that ends up being in that 6th or 7th spot. And we're like, oh, we're not, we're not there, right? We're not even having a chance at 4th. But when you're this close, all it takes is one team to win, another team to lose, and then you get that going on for like 2 games, and then before you know it, you're 6 points ahead, and it becomes tough, right? Because then at that point you're like, oh, we need this team to lose their next 2 games, and for us to win the next 2 games, and I don't like when you're in that pressure, and I know the players themselves. I mean, you get it in your head that you're like, all right, we got to win these 2 games. We got to hope that team loses the next 2 games. And the moment they win 1 game and you're like practically almost an impossible land, where's the motivation, right? To even do anything, even if you're like, well, technically if we win the rest of our games and this team loses 2 games out of 3, then we might, but I hope not. I don't want to deal with math anymore. I mean, this is already enough math for me as it is. But, yeah, we don't want to pull the calculator out anymore. So, yeah, but yeah, interesting stuff. We'll see what happens again. Your prediction, right, was a 3-1, right? If I'm not mistaken. Did you say 3-1 or 2-1 earlier?
2-1.
Okay, 2-1. I said a 1-1 tie. Actually, heck, while we're at it, how about we get predictions for those 3 games that we just talked about that are going to be played tomorrow? See if we get them right or not. Starting off with Las Vegas against San Diego. What's your scoreline for that one?
I'm going to say 1-0 San Diego. I mean, they're just hot and cold. I mean, we want them to end up losing, to help us out, and they decide they're not going to cooperate, and they just end up winning. So yeah, I would say San Diego 1-0.
Okay, I'm gonna say San Diego 4, Las Vegas Lights 1. They're gonna trash them, I think. Look, Tina says I'm thinking 2-1 us also. Yeah, I hope, Tina, that you and Jared are right. I hope I'm wrong in my 1-1 prediction. I hope so. I don't want to see a tie. Of course, I don't want to see a loss either, right? But it's like, I mean, a point gets you a point above, right? But you need the 3 points. You can't just keep collecting those ties. I think we've had enough ties already that we don't even have another like button-up shirt to match with the extra ties. So don't give us another one.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it casual around here. No ties.
Yeah, let's keep it casual for the rest of the season. And then Orange County against Roots. What's your prediction on that one?
I would like to see the Roots lose, but watch them end up winning 2-0. I mean, I just know Oakland's just going to pull something out of their backside and then end up beating Orange County. So I'm saying 2-0 Oakland on that. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be quite an interesting match. We're going to see a lot of goals from both squads, and it ultimately ends in a 3-3 tie in a really good match. It might even be USL Match of the Week, which, without a doubt, right? I mean, you're seeing third place play against fourth place right now, so could be.
Yeah.
And then finally, Tacoma Phoenix.
Oh.
What's your?
Oh, Phoenix at least 4-1. 4-1 for Phoenix. I mean, I hate to say that, but come on, 4-1 Phoenix, and that's if Phoenix decides to have mercy and let them score.
Right? Yeah, they shouldn't even have mercy. I mean, fine if they want to score one goal, great, but let it be Phoenix winning, right? And all that. I see. I don't know how, but I think Tacoma's going to manage to pull a tie at home. I see a 2-2 tie. Phoenix is. We're going to be complaining when we see the highlight reel because the 2 goals they get scored on, it's going to be like, come on, Phoenix. You're Phoenix, right? You're not Las Vegas Lights. Why are you getting those goals like that scored on you? So they're going to be hopefully not as bad as that own goal, but
yeah,
they're still going to be pretty bad, right? Honorary of like no top 10 for Sports Center kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I see that. Again, I hope I'm wrong as well with that one because of course we don't want to see him pull any points because Phoenix is what we're hoping is going to be the one team that helps us stop, Roots, Tacoma, Los Dos, and as we already saw, right? Like they have a game to play against each as well. They played twice against Orange County, so we certainly hope that they can also keep them from getting more points. Actually, no, they played 2 more times against Tacoma, so not only tomorrow's, but also the last game as well. So Phoenix is really who we're rooting for. Right? I hate to say it, right? I mean, but as much as it hurts to say, we definitely need them to win for us to make it to the playoffs. Of course, as long as we do our part as well, but we need them to get those 3 points in all the matches except the match against us, of course. So yeah, I guess let's go Phoenix until playoff time, and then we're gonna hope you lose. But for now, just keep scoring. I guess just which I gotta say that they do have a motivator, right? It's not just that. I forgot to mention it earlier, but let's face it, right? Between them and Tampa Bay Rowdies, it looks like they're trying to make another run to actually play that final game that they should have played if Rona wasn't a factor and they didn't end up canceling that USL Cup final. But Tampa Bay Rowdies right now are sitting at 52 points, also with 24 matches played. Phoenix has got 53 points, and so keep in mind, right, whichever team gets the most points, if they do make it to the final, is who ends up actually hosting the final match. So if there is something that Phoenix is motivated at, is that they want to make sure they host the game, because last season, if that game would have happened, they would have had to actually travel to Tampa Bay. So I'm just saying that there is a motivation there, right? So I hope that they maybe have that motivation in their head, as much as we really hope they don't make it to the final. But let's give them a little bit of hope right now, just so they could just demolish the teams that are after us right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I take that back. There is some motivation. They could probably give them a good run for their money, and let's hope we see that. Come on, Phoenix, do your thing. Don't give any points. Don't give any points unless it's against us again. But don't even give them 1 point. You are not goodwill. Don't be the good guys right now. We know you guys are always bad. Okay, cool. Well, that about wraps up what we had for today, right? With this match. Again, uh, gotta say it again. Happy early birthday, podcast mom. I'm really looking forward to this Sunday's game because, as you all heard, if you've heard the podcast, and if you haven't heard it, go check it out. We just uploaded it literally just last night, and we talk about the last game against Tacoma, and we also do this same exercise here with the standings and the points and all that and whatnot. But she mentioned that she actually upgraded me and a couple others to the VIP section to celebrate her birthday, which is tomorrow. But Sunday is the birthday match, and so really excited. Thank you again, Sharon. I know you're probably not watching right now because you're sleeping already, but I really appreciate it. It's the first time I'm going to be in the VIP section, so really stoked to see what it's like to experience a match on that side and also post game we had it on the show, but I had to cut it out of the podcast because then we found out why. If you're a season ticket holder, and I believe it also applies to half season ticket holders like myself, you can actually get access to a meet the team event that'll happen after the match on Sunday, in which we'll be able to meet the players and all that. So if you want more information on that, they do say that you can meet the team at the tent, right at the member services tent, and they'll give you a wristband if you are a season ticket member, and then that wristband after the game will give you access to and they'll probably give you more directions as to where that's all going down, because I don't quite recall exactly where it'll all happen, but they are going to be giving away wristbands so that way you have access to the area in which you'll be able to meet the players. So really excited about that and how that will go down. So be on the lookout for that. All should be really great. And also, if you want some podcast stickers, as we always say, right, if you're going to be at the game on Sunday, you already know Sharon and I are going to have a lot of stickers. We're going to be loaded with these things as we always are at every game. So if you want more, meet us up. We'll give you more stickers. We're trying to give hopefully almost all the inventory that I have right now before the season ends. And so by the time that Jared comes, we'll hopefully be short-handed on stickers, because I'll give him a lot of stickers as well. So you can replenish your inventory over there as well. So if you want those, send us a message, all that. Or if you happen to be near the VIP section, you'll probably spot us while we're there. Or if you just randomly see us, let us know, because we're carrying them around everywhere. And we don't leave them in the car and just get a select few. I have a good stack of them with me, and again, Sharon also has them as well. So, yep. So that's what we got there. And also, I know we mentioned it before, but if you do get a sticker, please take a picture of where you put it at and all that. And if you do so, you are going to be entering a contest to win a scarf, which we'll hopefully have them actually printed out sometime in the future. But when we do, you're going to be entered into a contest, into a raffle. We'll get all the names of all the people who have shared their picture of where they actually put the sticker at. And you'll get a chance to win one of our awesome scarves. So start sharing those pictures, tag us on social media, send us a message, put it on the Facebook group, Sacramento Soccer Fans. Just let us know, and we'll keep tally of that. If we don't respond to you, just tag us or something in case we miss the post, because we do get a lot of notifications. So I want to make sure that we do see your picture there and you are able to enter the contest. So great. Well, other than that, thank you so much to everyone always for tuning in to this Town Hall live show that we have. Thank you, Jared, for joining us here. Also, thanks to Tina for joining us earlier. Thanks to Sharon for staying up a little bit later on the comments there, and taking a little quick break, because we know she's already kind of celebrating her birthday already. So thank you for hopping on here for that. And also, thank you so much to everyone for listening to the podcast. As we always say, we appreciate your support on that. We recently turned 50 episodes, and we really thank you, because you, the listener, are who drives us each and every single one a day to create more podcasts, to get more content, to have more ideas for live shows and all that. So if it weren't for you, we probably wouldn't be doing this as much. And you know, that's my motivation. I know the motivation of everyone on the team is to, you know, see that we get listens and all that, and that you are showing us your support on social media and all that. So we really do thank you so much for that. And Tina's actually leaving a comment. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Tina. We really appreciate it. So yeah, great stuff. Also be on the lookout for the next podcast, which we'll be talking about Sunday's game against Los Dos. Podcast might be up either Monday or Tuesday. We'll have to coordinate on when we'll be recording that ourselves. But be on the lookout. It should probably be up on either Monday evening or Tuesday afternoon, evening wise. So check your socials, subscribe to us if you're not subscribed, and that's a really great way to find out once it drops on your favorite podcast platform. So great. Once again, thanks, Jared, for tuning in here tonight. And, you know, hope the best for our team this Sunday. And safe travels to OKC, by the way. Hope it all goes great.
Yeah, all I know is I'm definitely going to be stocking up on some of the energy drinks because of the fact that the matches are going to be starting at 9:30 p.m. local time there, because Oklahoma City is 2 hours ahead of California. But yeah, it'll probably be worth it.
Oh yeah, hopefully, and a team better make it worth it, right? They better make that worth it and all that, and so we'll see, but we'll see everyone who will be at the game on Sunday again. We'll be there. If you see us, say hi and let us give you some stickers as well. So have a great night, everyone. Again, we'll see you next Sunday, and tune in to us next week here on State of the Republic podcast. Bye.